How to use your phone safely and efficiently. Many people ask me what phone do you recommend. I would like to recommend Samsung or Apple that is major in the market. And I have the comparison between Samsung and Apple phones. The advantage of Samsung phone is flexible operating system, super resolution of LCD, and open mind concept. The advantage of the Apple is the long-last battery, screen repair cost is low and easier to repair. The disadvantage of Samsung phone is poor battery. It lasts only 1 day. Usually Apple phone lasts 2 days, but Apple has some common problem with the battery with the new OS upgrade. That is some issue in this moment. And the other disadvantage of Samsung, the screen repair cost is very high because the OLED screen is very expensive. And Apple has some non-flexible operating system and try to control customers like Apple ID. Apple ID is mandatory to use the Apple phone, but Samsung phone is just an option. So Apple try to control customer under their driving, and some point of view, Apple misuse of technology. For example, they put very special device on the cable, then they let people only use Apple certified cable, but the cable is just a cable. It should be shared for all people. The technology should be shared to all people evenly. But Apple tried to use technology only for their commercial purpose. That's one thing that I designate. And newest model is popular but not always good. The probation period is required about 1 year. Not all new features actually necessary. Price is high in comparison with the value. It is a kind of psychological fashion. Repair cost is also extremely high. So I would not recommend the newest model, but people are crazy with the newest model. And operating system upgrade issue. Apple push customer to upgrade iOS. New OS is based on new model. For old model, it may be burden. Apple OS upgrade is irreversible. Need to be careful. I observed many cases that phone become not usable once people upgrade the OS. So they recommend OS upgrade very strongly. For example, when they show up some message for OS upgrade, there is no option that you decline. There is no option, no thanks. Only option, would you upgrade tonight or later or now? So they forces you to upgrade system. But not all applications is suitable to new operating system.Maybe some your app from third party not work on the new OS. Then the phone crashes and does not work. Then Apple, they say they are not responsible for that, but you cannot use the phone anymore. That's a problem. So I do not recommend to upgrade unless it is necessary. The other thing is password issue. The Apple ID and password is mandatory for all Apple phones, as I told you. If you finish using the phone, delete them before you forget it. The writing down somewhere would be another option. So I saw many cases the people forget password and he cannot use the phone anymore. And Apple phones are very restrictive on screen passcode and Apple ID. No way to use the phone if you forgot them. Contact Apple and prove that the phone is yours would be necessary. And Samsung phones are very tolerant on password. You can do hardware reset even you do not know password, but newer models become restrictive. And next one is powerproof issue. The manufacturer announced some models are waterproof. However, it is not perfect. I observed cases that phone is damaged by water intrusion, even it was announced as a waterproof phone. So don't rely on the advertisement. The water damage is very serious than your expectation. Putting into rice is one of the well-known gossip, but not so much helpful. The best way is bringing it to technician and let him disassemble overall and clean it within 2 days. Turn off power immediately and not turn on. Disconnect the battery if possible. Usually the old model of Samsung phone, it's available to replace battery, but recently they started to invade the battery like Apple for the new models. Putting in a hydrator, that is food dry machine, would help. I experienced many failures in case it lasted more than 2 days. So this picture is one example of the phone inside, even it was inserted into the rice. Next one is battery issue. 3 major battery consumer is screen, GPS chip, and background apps. So first, make brightness dark as much as possible. Dark color wallpaper would help. So I use the black color wallpaper, just making photo, just blocking the camera lens and take a picture, and it become totally black. And then I use it as wallpaper, and then you may save the battery energy on the screen. Turn off location when you do not use it. Okay, there is an example of the here. In case of iPhone, you go to setting and privacy and location. Okay, you can turn off. Reduce apps as much as possible and turn off background apps. Here in the Apple iPhones, if you go to general, there is a background app refresh. Then background app refresh, there is a turning off apps may have preserved battery life. So yeah, turn off. And if you need some kind of notification from 1 or 2 apps, then you turn on only that. That would be helpful. And there is an app to check battery. So it's not the percentage of the charging. So it shows how much did you use from the total battery life. So for example here, very low means you have used not much. Here the very high means you used battery too much in terms of battery life, so you need to replace the battery. So battery life is one example of the apps. Then case. There is no case that protects screen if you drop the phone, unfortunately. And people follow Autobox blindly. But yeah, it's not always perfect. It's not always good. I mean, the Autobox is kind of something rigid material. I feel it's too compact. And soft material like leather, cloth is better than hard material like plastic and hard gummy. And feeding loose is better than tight to relieve impact from outside. The screen is made of glass. It would be broken even 1 feet high if you drop. And the best way is not to drop. But I met over 3,000 people who dropped a phone during my last service 5 years. So I guess many of people here was my customer, and you dropped a phone. But don't be ashamed. You are just one of the 3,000 people. It's very common. So it's normal. And okay, and the next one is screen protector. There is no screen protector that protects screen if you drop the phone. Yeah. So it would have from scratch and some situation of impact. The tempered glass type is popular now. The other issue that I have not described here is memory full crash. It's not common, but I've seen some case the users reach the almost memory full situation, and she is using the phone, and then suddenly it reached to the 100% full of memory, and then the software crashed, and then the phone cannot repairable, so she lost the phone. That's the one case. So be careful, manage your memory on the phone, and you can delete many unnecessary memories that occupy on your phone memory by using some apps like Clean Master, or there are many apps to rearrange your memories. Okay, all right. So customer satisfaction is our happiness. So it's my slogan of my services. Yeah, so my little dog named Happy is always barking when you come in. And also if you go out, on the moment if you are going, and he's always barking to meet people. Okay, so thank you for your trust, and thank you for your using my service. All right, bye bye.